Good morning. How are you? Let's talk about lease purchases and let's look at what the spot market's doing. Stay tuned. Maybe. There we go. All right. See. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. All right. Good morning. Hold on. Let's turn this up a little bit. You got to be kidding me. Hold on. All right. We're back. We're back. Check one. Hey. All right. Good. Good morning. Hope all is well. Got our coffee. We're drinking it black today. No cream. Well, I haven't been doing sugar forever. Anyways, good morning. Hope all is well. Sorry about the delay. I know the YouTube algorithms aren't going to like it, but hey, tough luck, right? I wanted to talk a little bit about the lease purchase deal and my thoughts on that. And they're not going to be popular thoughts. And then we'll go over the weather real quick, and then we'll go over some freight. This can't be a long live feed. I've got someone showing up at the house at 8:00. So, anyways, so cheers. Good morning. Hope all is well. Hope you're warming up. Everything looks different because I don't know. I'm using StreamYard through a different browser, so it's acting all funny. But, anyways, sorry I haven't been live in a while. Things have been super busy here at Like Trucking. Jeff's put some more responsibilities on me. which is good, which is needed. Dispatch is going full and strong. We're doing well on that. Knock on wood. What else? That's it. And then part of it, I haven't been in the mood to go live, and so YouTube's going to be like, oh look, now the guy thinks he's going to go live. But really, from what I've noticed, that freight rates have been coming up, volumes have been coming up, but you still got to stay in the right areas. We'll go over that real quick, but first I want to go over this article. FMCSA task force, and then we'll go into the oops. Then we'll go into my cat's around here somewhere. Then we'll go into a summary, and then we'll get into the freight real quick. So, like I said, but anyways, let's do some shout outs real quick first, and then we'll get into the article. Josh the Vegan, let's go. Good morning, sir. Southbound Pachyderm, what's up? Randy, what's up? From Wildwood, Florida. Charity, good morning. Desiree Pam, good morning. Rookie trucker, sorry. Good morning. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing all right. How's that new trailer treating you? Good morning, everyone. Picking up truck from Peterbilt. Hoping this week gets better. Good deal. Randy says a little home time becomes maintenance time. No rest for a trucker. That's absolutely correct. Good morning, says Mark Ely. Good morning, Gary Cook. Toga, oi, I'm finally catching up alive again. There you go, Toga. Flatbed Trucker, good morning. TK, hey now. You know what's great about Toga is that he's not even, I don't even think you're a driver. You just hang out with us. That's pretty cool. First time in 5.5 years I've had to get a hotel because the truck was in the shop. Yep, I had a driver down for almost a week. Had to get a hotel. It's tis the season, I guess, right? Grafton, what's up? Love my lease purchase. Made a boatload of money. There are rules to leasing. Yes, I agree with that. I'm not going to bash lease purchases, but my perception might be a little bit different than what most people are thinking. Night Ranger, sorry, didn't know you were live. Well, you're here now, so that's all that counts. Don't say rates are going up. You'll flood the market with newbies. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, cheap freight. Don't enter the spot market. It's getting really bad. Wink, wink. What rules? Quick hit, still trucking. Good deal. All right. So let's go over to we're going to do this fleetowner.com. I'm going to share the screen here. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Man, normally I'm on Chrome. I'm on a different browser, so it's acting weird. So, let's see. FMCSA task force finds carrier lease purchase agreements weaken trucking industry. Carrier lease purchase agreements are irredeemable tools of fraud that threaten supply chains. A federal task force on truck leasing warns Congress. If FMCSA task force is pushing Congress to ban carrier lease purchase agreements, the FMCSA truck leasing task force submitted its final report to Congress analyzing lease purchase agreements in the trucking industry. The task force reached a clear, unanimous consensus: lease purchase programs through carriers should be prohibited. Congress should ban commercial motor vehicle lease purchase agreements as irredeemable tools of fraud and driver oppression that threaten a safe national transportation system and diminish the number of truck drivers attracted to and who stay in the trucking industry, the report said. The task force recommends the ban specifically for lease purchase agreements where a motor carrier simultaneously controls the driver's operation, compensation, and debt. The group said the programs are regularly established to enrich motor carriers at the expense of drivers and have no adequate checks or remedies. If not banned, the group recommends these agreements undergo a regulatory overhaul. I'm not going to read this whole thing. The report focuses on one kind of lease purchase agreement where a motor carrier both loans the truck and dictates the driver's operations. That's the one I've always had a problem with. The task force did not focus on leasing arrangements through separate financiers, third-party leasing, etc. Lease purchase agreements through the motor carriers introduce a significant power imbalance between the carrier and driver, the report found. Carriers in these agreements set the compensation rates, truck payments, insurance payments, fuel purchasing, maintenance, and more. Many drivers cannot negotiate the contract terms, nor can they take the contracts home to review before signing. That is a problem. These drivers are almost always classified by the motor carriers as independent contractors, despite the fact that the carriers has near or total control over the driver and their operations. The programs are most popular in the for-hire truckload and drayage operations. Drivers see promises in the agreements for truck ownership, operational independence, and financial freedom, but the task force said it found no evidence of those benefits. Few lessees can afford to endure the contract's length, and the payments often accrue with no equity on the truck anyway, the group said. Now, like I said, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I did read that article, right? I did read that article, and I did a summary on it. And so let's, I'm not going to show my screen on this because it's my email. So let's zoom this in here. And so basically what I did is I put in an AI tool and said, give me this article, because it's a lot of legalese and stuff. Give me this article in the form of a high school education, because a lot of us have, myself included, have a high school education. And here's what it said. This document is a report from the Public Court Data Subcommittee to the Truck Leasing Task Force about the problems truck drivers face with unfair lease purchase agreements. These agreements often tap drivers in bad deals where they end up earning very little money, sometimes even owing money to the trucking companies they work for. The report explains that truck drivers are essential to the U.S. economy, moving most of the country goods. However, many drivers are stuck in unfair lease purchase agreements where they lease trucks from companies they work for. These agreements often result in drivers earning less than minimum wage and working under unsafe conditions. The subcommittee found that these agreements benefit trucking companies by reducing their costs and increasing their control over drivers. This is true. Drivers can't often negotiate the terms of these agreements and are misled about how much money they can make. Many drivers end up in debt and unable to leave their jobs. The report recommends several solutions, including new rules to protect drivers, better education for drivers about these agreements, and more support for drivers who want to unionize. It also suggests that trucking companies should be banned from offering these lease purchase agreements to drivers who are required to work exclusively for them. Overall, the report calls for government action to protect truck drivers from these unfair practices and ensure the stability of the trucking industry. Now, here are my thoughts, because my thoughts are important, right? Not really, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. I've always said that there's a lot of lease purchase agreements that are basically you're the company driver paying the bills. And about 6 months or a year ago, I did a video where I took the cost of a local lease purchase agreement that a driver I know was looking at, and the cost of the truck, all the paperwork, everything was like $1,500 a week. Okay. This includes, everything except fuel. This included insurance, truck payment, all this stuff. And when he did the math on 10 trucks, it came out to saving the trucking company $5 million over the course of 4 years. Saving. That's why these lease purchases are in effect, because if I go out and buy 10 trucks and I have steady freight to put drivers and have them haul this freight, well, how much money would that save me if I made them make the truck payments, if I made them make the trailer payments, if I made them to haul my freight that I found for them that they can only haul it. They can't go on the spot market. They have no control. That's the kind of lease purchases that I think that they're targeting. And I think that those lease purchase agreements are a bad deal. Now, one of the things that they want to do is, their report recommends several solutions, including new rules to protect drivers, better education for drivers about these agreements. I agree with the better education. A lot of lease companies, and the one that they used in the report, which I'm not going to name, was used as an example because I know that this company firsthand likes to go after the new guys that just came out of CDL school and put them in a lease purchase program. That is a load of crap. Do not do that. If you're a new driver watching this and you got your CDL and you're happy to be a company driver, do not fall for, well, you can make more money as a contractor if you just make our truck payment for us. Do not fall for that, because that is a load of bull. Okay, especially if they're the only ones finding your freight for you, right? Those are the kind of lease purchases that I think that they need to target. Now, we have a few lease purchases here, but the drivers have the freedom to do what they want. It's basically more or less a financing of a truck. And, and then Snyder Finance, a lot of, those payments are high, but you are allowed to take that truck wherever you want. You're going to pay a bit of money for that freedom, but you can take that truck wherever you want. You have several SFI people that have their own authority or work for a different company, or there's several at Landstar, anywhere where they can choose their freight. Snyder acts kind of like what Lone Mountain is, a third-party lease, truck seller is pretty much what it is. So I have no problem with those kind of lease purchases. It's the ones that you're basically a company driver. You got to do what you're told. You might have the freedom of choosing between 2 or 3 different loads, but for the most part, it's a closed system. You have to haul their freight. And you take a big company like Prime, Swift, Knight, those type of companies, those type of lease purchases, you know, there's probably a little clause in there that you can move the truck, but you have to have like so much, like an ungodly amount of money. The kind of money that if you had, you're just better off to get the truck on your own. And what it does is it preys on the lack of education of a new driver. It preys on the human element, the human nature of wanting something brand new. My first truck I purchased was not brand new, had 550,000 miles. It was kind of janky on the inside. It was not a great truck, but it was my truck. I could do whatever I want. I could have bought that truck and set it in the front yard and not do anything with it, right? Makes no sense to do that. But at the end of the day, it was my truck or the bank's truck. And I could move that truck wherever I wanted. And I did. I went from Landstar and then I went to Snyder with that truck. And was making more money than the SFI guys on the net side. Why? Because I didn't have the amount of payments that they did. Why? Because I didn't have to have the brand new truck. And some of these lease purchase programs, like the companies I've mentioned, they'll put you in a brand new truck, which is almost next to impossible for a first-time owner operator without that help. In other words, when I started looking at companies, they wanted not companies, but dealerships, they wanted 20% down. Well, 20% of a $180,000 truck, that's a lot of money. I did not have that kind of capital. So I got what I could have afforded. But a company like Prime or Swift will put you in a brand new truck and will tell you that, and basically you can customize it. You can put your own stickers on it. This is your truck. And then you've got other companies that will put you in trucks that look custom, like Hurricane comes to mind. They'll give you all the chicken lights, and they'll give you a free fridge and a free satellite, and free internet and the whole 9 yards. But how often do you see the house? And because of the high payments, you can't go home. Now, where the education has to kick in, you have to read the contract. And if if a company will not let you take the contract home to read it, you're done, right? That's a big red flag. And there's so many AI tools, plus you got OIDA, plus you've got lawyers that can take the legalese and break it down to whatever education level that you're at, right? That is important. And I've always said that these people that feel trapped, there are better ways to do it. There are better ways to do it. If you truly want to own your own truck, there is a better way to do it, but you got to work your way up to the totem pole. Right? And so not all lease purchases are the same. And so I hope that if this committee does something, that they are able to create some lines, some differentiation between lease purchases. And that's where I feel like Schneider is ahead of the game, because they might have seen this coming down the line. And that's why you're given the freedom to move the truck, as long as your bills were caught up, and as long as the company that you're going to with that truck was reputable. So that is the important part, right? That's, so Tolga says, "Oh no, I'm a finance guy. Blame the Mr. Best to find all your legends, all you legends." Rookie trucker, speaking of lease purchase, I have my first driver coming on next week. Set him up with my old truck and trailer to help him get started. Wish us luck. Now, what rookie trucker is doing, and I've heard some of these details, is he's doing a hand up, not a hand out, and he's not taking advantage of the driver. That kind of lease purchase is a good deal, right? You're basically financing the truck and giving them a platform to make money. And the possibility of owning that truck is very realistic. Mark Ely says, rule number 1, read your contract. Rule number 2, control the asset. 3, rules self-dispatch. Yes. Rule 4, have a calculator handy, know your numbers. And these are all good points. And knowing your numbers is key. That's the number 1. That's the education that's needed, right? So, do you think that these mega carriers that do lease purchases would suffer if the FMCSA did away with the lease purchase? Absolutely. Absolutely. They'll either have to completely change their program, or they'll have to get rid of it altogether, which, again, just with 10 trucks, you're talking about millions of dollars. So think of a company like Prime that has, how many of their trucks are lease trucks? If they don't survive this new ruling, that's a lot of money that they have to start forking over. CM Freight Broker, good morning, Steve. Late due to snow shoveling. Yeah, it's been raining here. Our snow finally melted. I seen a truck with SFI mud flaps leased to another company pulling a JB Hunt trailer. My thought was, how many hands are in the pot? Well, it's probably an SFI truck that's on another company, and they're probably pulling JB Hunt power only. Or they might have been pulling a new trailer somewhere. JB Hunt's ordering a bunch of new trailers. We've had a couple of drivers do some power only where it's not for JB Hunt. It was for a broker that was trying to get new trailers from the trailer factory to wherever yard in Arkansas. Now I'm back to work. I'm looking at these. I'm looking to lease purchase a truck wash. You seen those prices lately? Truck wash? No. Good morning, all. T-Bone. I really believe the education, mindset, business plan, experience is the key to being a successful owner-operator. But I agree, these megas handcuff these new CDL holders right out of the gate. Absolutely. And the carrier that you're with is willing to give the education because they put their mouth where their money is, right? Or money where their mouth is. Whatever that terminology is. Education is key. I try to bring drivers under my wing and say, okay, this is what we need to do. And the first thing I ask them is, what are your numbers? What are you making? What are you grossing? What are you netting? And most of them can't tell me. And, if you were to go to a McDonald's general manager, they get them on the computer. There's my numbers. There's our numbers this week. There's our numbers this month. We're in the red, X amount. We're in the black, X amount. We got this and this bill coming up. And most drivers can't do that. And that's the thing. You're given most of these lease purchases, you're given a $180,000 truck, sometimes $200,000 truck, with no business plan, no credit, and not even any kind of projection other than, most of our guys, net about $1,500 a week. Not telling you how much they run, not telling you how much they gross. This is literally one of the I don't know any other business that would allow you to do that. If I wanted to open up a restaurant, if I wanted to open up a record store, if I wanted to open up a local, butcher shop, I would have to have a business plan. I would have to have capital. I would have to have credit. But yet we'll throw a newbie out of CDL school, a $200,000 truck, right? Prime's business model is amazing, limited risk. That's that. Look, there's a reason why they do that. I agree with you, Big Daddy. This is A said, Sinking YouTube just now gave me a notification. What do owner operators do if they're down at the mechanic 1 to 2 weeks? How do they pay themselves? Dig in the business in the business credit line. Some don't pay themselves at all. They dig into the business money. They dig into the maintenance money. Or if you're working for a big carrier, they're your safety net. You're just in debt to them. Like, okay, we won't take out our truck payment this week because you've been in the shop. But now, not only do you got the truck debt, but now you've got like $2 or $3 or $4 or $5,000 in debt that you needed to use to be able to pay your light bill and pay for your food. Debt is the currency of slaves, right? So, that's my thoughts on this lease purchase thing. It needs an overhaul, and that's where we're at. So, anyways, let me take a look at something here real quick. Forward my email to this, and then work is starting to catch up with me. So, let's see here. Okay. All right, let's go over the weather real quick. Weather's pretty quiet. Weather's pretty quiet, except for the upper Northwest. That's all a mess. And then New York State, New York, and Northeast Pennsylvania. That's all kind of a mess. All this is what's this gray? Dense fog. A lot of fog in these areas because they've been seeing warm temps plus the rain. It's been kind of steamy around here. And then some flooding going on in West Virginia. So, pretty quiet. Let's see. Let's go to the 123 low board 48065 if you want to try my code. Here's your hot market maps. Let's do van. Chief Freight Hauler says CDN have a plan for it and have a stack of cash. That is true. I always tell people you want 3 months of stuff you need for the house saved up. And if you're buying your truck separately from a bank or whatever, you want 2 or 3 months of truck payment in the bank as well. And most people don't have that, especially if you're coming out of CDL school, right? So, and again, I apologize for going through this pretty quick, but we can't do our more in-depth spot market talk because I got to get to work here. So, here's the van. California's green with with some decent outbound numbers. Texas is green, but we're struggling. We're making a little bit more going in and making a little bit more coming out. So Texas is woken up a little bit, in my experience. Missouri's doing well. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, of course. Florida, I would not recommend. Let's take a look at DAT real quick. Georgia's not as bad as it was last week. And then Florida's getting a little bit better coming out too. But not, I mean, trust me, you're not getting $2 a mile coming out of Florida unless you're going somewhere stupid. But, and then if we do reefer, don't do reefer children, it's bad for your brain. California, New Mexico, Texas are green. Upper Midwest. South Carolina is saying F you to everybody. Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida are showing green. But again, your rates are going to struggle to get out of there. But the upper Midwest is where it's at when it comes to volumes. And then flatbed and SEPDEC. Pacific Northwest, Minnesota, Michigan. Southeast has kind of slowed down quite a bit, except for Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Decent outbound, especially good outbound numbers in Alabama. Wow. Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, those are your states for flatbed, and Arkansas. Really good outbound numbers there. So, David Edwards, good to see you. In Montgomery, Illinois. Leaving Indy now, new water pump installed, 2100 crankshaft bolts replaced, recall warranty. That's not bad. Last time I had my fuel pump, it was like $1,600, I think is what I paid. That was in Florida. My thoughts for both owner operator, broker agent. Your spouse and you come up with a monthly salary, example $4,000 a month or $2,000 for 2 weeks. Now you have to pay $2,000 2 weeks. If your business is short, credit line. Your quarterly IRS come from business, not the 2K 2 weeks. Summary, this is a reason for your business plan and research lanes that you plan to run before you buy. Absolutely, but nobody does that. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I know this was a short live feed. I know I haven't been going live as much and as consistently as I normally am, but I've got some YouTube shorts coming up. I've been cutting up the live feeds, throwing them at the AI and bringing them, bringing some clips to you guys. If you don't mind, please also subscribe to the Snorelord OG channel. If you wish to try out the 123 low board, there's the information. If liketrucking.com, we're always looking for owner operators that have their own trucks. And if you have your own trailer, even better. So make sure you like, subscribe, yada, 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 all that stuff. I really appreciate the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Interactions work very well for the channel. And I appreciate everybody. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. If you're out there working, hopefully it's a profitable one. 20-minute lives 3 times a week, better than a 1 hour once in a while. That's a good idea, CDN. That's a good idea. And they might go earlier. So have a great weekend, everyone. Peace. Man, that ruined my mojo here. Video file. Here we go. Outro to live. Have a great day. Go.